What do you think? Let me move to the next question now, which is a lot more fun. How did I make it as a woman? Here is the truth. Growing up, my parents, particularly my late dad, did not allow me to use gender as an excuse, like for anything. Let me give you, I have stories, right? There was one story in high school. Right, I'm a top performer, right? Beats, I was the head girl, British school in Nigeria, right? So top performer, first, very highly competitive society, right? Where it's like top 1, 2, 3, in the class. So I'm top and all of that. So anyway, that's the expectation set for me. There was a time in high school, maybe, I don't know, maybe as a 12, 13, I don't even know what age, maybe 12, me coming home with taking third place, right? In all of the class, a class of maybe 30, 40, I don't know. And giving my dad my report card, and my dad was like, who came in first and second? You are third, right? Who came in first and second? I was like, Daddy, there are some smart boys in my class. My dad was like, what? Okay. I said, they are really smart. He's like, they are not smarter than you. I'm like, Daddy, but they're really smart. You don't know them. My dad was like, they're not smarter than you. All you need to do is apply yourself more. They don't have two heads. I'm like, for real? He was like, yeah, next semester, I need you to go back there to that school. My daughter is the smartest in that class, and I need you to prove it to those boys. So that's one story. So I wasn't allowed to ever use gender as a limiting factor in anything I wanted to do in life. That's the biggest gift I think my dad gave me and us. I'm number 5 of 6 and 2 girls, 4 boys. So, even my siblings, like it's in a very naive way, it was shut down at a very young age to say, oh, a girl can do or a boy cannot. Like, it wasn't even a conversation in our house. So in a way, I was very naive to the world out there and their perception of what a woman is permitted to do or not do, or places she can go or not go. Like, it was actually in my adulthood that I actually discovered, oh, there is a bias out there. But growing up, I wasn't given the permission. I wasn't allowed. It was really shut down. So the second story I want to share, and I've written about this in a book and published in a book called The Leading Women. Maybe another day I'll share it. But it's me as a teenager on the continent in Africa. I had my first degree in Nigeria, and then came to the US for my master's in information system from Central Michigan University, Chippewa. Okay, so I remember learning how to drive in the crazy roads. Like, it's really, you have to driving in African major cities is like for the wits. You have to have a kind of different stamina. So I'm learning how to drive. My dad is teaching me how to drive and navigate the streets, and he's right here sitting next to me in the passenger seat and guiding me. And I'm like, just imagine, maybe 16, 17, I can't remember the age. And as I'm going on the street, there is this taxi driver. One thing about, even in Africa today, is if you're a woman behind the wheel, a woman, somehow people think you're not an there's just a way women behind wheels is still perceived. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, so now I'm not a woman, I'm a young girl, teenager driving, and the taxi driver was like sizing me up. I was like, no, you don't know what you're doing, let me edge you off, and this taxi driver was in for his own shock. It was like, let me get in. And my dad shouted at me. He was like, block him, you have rights of way. So me being a teenager, I was like, so I maneuvered. I made my dad proud. I did not let the guy move me off my path. And so I did that. But here's the biggest lesson that my dad taught me. After that exchange, because right, it's rough, it's on the street, my dad then pointed at me and said, never let anybody run you off your road. You could end up in a ditch. Because a lot of times people rattle you in the ways of life. You get flustered. People tell you you are somewhere you shouldn't be. You don't belong here. All of those things, they are noise. Your duty is to shut it off, right? Don't let them get you off their own journey in life. Stay your course, because if you don't, you are actually going to do damage to yourself. They will continue on their journey, right? All of these people telling you in your workplace or in your professional place, oh, wait your turn. It's not your time. They are also on that road of life with you. And the words that they speak, okay, the words that they share, the words that they speak, you have to really question who is benefiting. If you believe and buy into those words, who benefits? They do. They get to their own destination faster, right? They get the promotion. They get the business opportunity. They're like, wait your turn. It's not your turn. It's my... No. This journey of life, on this road, you stay in your lane, I stay in my lane. I do my thing, you do your thing. If there are opportunities to collaborate, great. If not, we clap for each other. So that's the way, my own approach. And when you say challenges, definitely, right? But you get to, the way you see those challenges. I remember one of the biggest things that I think women get to be challenged in subtle ways of, how dare you, right? Pull this thing off. I'm like, I'm skilled. I don't even have to explain myself anymore, right? So that's what I would say to women. Like, you don't need permission. You have the only permission you need is the one from your creator. I'm a person of deep faith. So a lot of the work I do as well, when the only voice that matters to me is my creator, that tells me, Toyin, you're equipped, Toyin, you're graced, Toyin, I'm delighted in you, like, go for it. Once I hear that voice, every other voice doesn't, right? It shouldn't matter. And I happen to also be surrounded by people, men. I say great men give strength to the women in their life. So I was raised by a great man, by my siblings, men, like, they totally, encourage, inspire, support. In fact, my brother actually handles healthcare for Trade with Africa. Every year he flies in and he supports the platform. Like, all I have to do is just give him a call or send him a message, like, you're showing up, I need you to speak. He was like, okay. Like, that's how. So I think there's also value in what I call nurture. So there's nature, nurture, culture. Your nature, your tendencies, your giftings, understanding your nature, your value. Yesterday I posted something like, what you need in life is knowing how to speak and write. And somebody, some of my friends were like commenting, and even one of my friends texted me and said, "Ooh, that was so good." Because I said everything else you learned in school is just cherry on the top. Being able to speak and communicate, which are some of the things that, some culture, they kill, right? They just go after those things. But that's really what you need to be able to communicate yourself, understand who you are. You can always buy technical skills. The people around the world leading and creating wealth, they're not the smartest. I always talk about the A, B, and C people. Maybe that's another story for another day.